Hi, everybody. This is Sam Durbridge, and I like hanging out in my little tent here that I have that you've seen me in a few times. What I wanted to bring up today is something about what we're about to go through. I've already explained and went into, but I've noticed that as we've gone through these flashes since July and earlier this year, but especially with everything that's been going on here in 2020, we've had so many changes and awakenings. And it reminds me of the show Celestine Prophecy, which is also based off of a book that brings up that things will get so bad and that we will discover something. And it talks about the 9 different insights. And I think that there's a lot more insights beyond that we're going to discover really soon, pretty much collectively worldwide and in all realm connections. We're going to remember our future, past, present lifetimes, if there are any, and we're going to become a very interesting form of being, whatever it is we're going to be. But either way, if it's just a huge mass meditation of healing, prayer and meditation does work. It's considered what allows metaphysical healing, and it's proven. There's studies and information that I always share in links, and I'll put that in the description like I normally do. But what I wanted you to be aware is there's so much going on that I've noticed that certain individuals who are sort of been awakened or trying to wake or are about meditation, but they're also about other things, and they question whether they should believe in certain religious beliefs or scriptural teachings. It's, for me, I keep an open mind of all the different texts and information. The supposed unredacted versions and all that actually prove to actually heal, and that have done in studies, and that I've actually even recreated for me and done, and so I know it works. Also, I've learned it in energy science studies and other things, but I've also learned that there's a possible inner self or equal higher self connection to an unconditional love Christ connection for me. Now, is that the same for everybody? I hope so, but I want it to be whatever you feel is for you. You don't need to believe what I believe. I don't really follow any religious path other than I'm my own minister, but not for any particular church or whatever, just of that we're all same connection individuals of the same universe or beyond. And so I just am all about unity and connection with all, freeing us all, letting us all do what we individually choose to for our life path. Just because someone else is choosing to do something doesn't mean we have to or should. We need to follow our path of what we feel is important to us, and that's our choice. And then whatever we choose from that choice has its certain things that may happen for choosing to, good or bad. So it's all about the heart for me. And so this is what I'm going to bring up about with all of these energies and these very dense and tense changes that we're all going through. Even me, I've gone through really irritations, and I've become more somewhat off balance and then balanced, and then I'm not sure where I'm at now. But I usually focus on peace the most. But I have irritations, and I have awarenesses of me feeling about certain individuals. My vocabulary on my own has gotten a little bit rude, but not meaning rude, just more of an open awareness of my feelings about people. But then I don't want to think badly about them either, and so I have like this dual response. So sometimes I'm like, oh, this person's a butt or whatever I call them in my mind, but then I'm like, but they're okay. Like, oh, this ad is pissing me off, but it's okay. It's like, it's so weird. It's like I'm going through this new change of being honest with how I feel about things, but then I want to be more peaceful and caring about it. I don't want to be fake or facade. So this is what really is interesting. When I start meeting and talking to individuals that want me to be part of their group and want me to be part of their ideas of thinking, I've noticed that they all do the same thing. And I used to do this too, and I realized that this is gaslighting. But then they think when we bring up, hey, you're gaslighting, they say, oh, you're gaslighting me. And it's like, no, I'm not. Here's the thing that's going on here. We are about going through all these different dense energies and different things that are clearing from us. So our past, future, presents are merging and have been, but now it's like really making us our full balanced self and high vibe as we can be. And that's what's going to be really interesting. So we got all these dual personalities that are awakening in all of us. And those of us that are more awakened and aren't set in our ways of what's right or wrong, we're just doing what we feel is right in our heart. And we're not defining whether it's really good or bad or of the devil or not of the devil or whatever it is. It's all about doing the right thing for me. And so I follow the vibration of authentic behavior, of being genuine, honest, and self-worth. And so what I can tell you is when I have friends or other people that I've talked to, or new friends or new people, I meet them and then they go off and do their own thing. I have noticed that the ones that are still not fully awakened, but they act like they are and pretend that they are, it's not their fault. They're still figuring out what's going on, and they're going to awaken and change. It's fine. And they're just doing what they feel they should do by their religious behaviors of what they think is right. And that's okay. That's their decision to go that direction and feel that way. What I have noticed, though, is I get individual people that are genuine and kind and act like they agree and are aware of my genuine behavior and awareness, and then they all of a sudden say, oh, you have a tone. Like when they ask me to do something and I say, well, I'm not going to do that, I see them backpedal or go after my tone or certain things because I chose not to follow what they think I should follow, or that they've been trying to get me to do, that they think I should do really quickly. And I'm like, well, right now I'm waiting for the shift. I'm waiting for it to come through so that all truths and things may be known. So I don't trap myself into tricks or lies or tricks of others that are trying to get me in it. And it seems like certain individuals who want to rush you into things, but then they're like, oh, I'm not rushing you, and then they are. And it's really interesting because they get you into this thing and you're saying, well, I'm not going to be part of that, but I support you in what you're doing. I support you for wanting to do that. Here's what I heard about that day to be careful of, and all of this stuff of what's going to happen. So if you do stuff outdoors on the 21st of December, you may have this particular thing occur, and I heard that all the dark forces might be out there, so it'd be better to be indoors. But do what you feel your heart tells you, but I'm not going to go out and do any kind of I'm not going to be part of any kind of signing up for things. And I think the individual probably felt hurt because they probably were hoping that I would drive them or be their ride for that, but they never asked me or told me. So I don't want to out who this person is. I think they're really a good person. I've known them. I guess they've known me since I was younger, but I've recently started to get to know them, and we had a lot in common. At the same time, what is going on is, well, that's what's happening right now. We're meeting older or people that we've known for a while start showing up, and then they start having different back and forth. We start finding new people that fit us, and then we lose them if they don't fully fit with us, because we start to realize domination over each other, and we don't want to dominate our energy over anybody. You need to do you, and I need to do me, and that's how it works. And then just bless from the heart. When you say I bless you, that's a good positive vibration, and it can heal and help others. So I wanted to go into this next knowledge. So this next knowledge is when someone thinks that you have a tone of any kind. It doesn't matter about your tone, okay? I'm hearing this a ton from people, and they're like, I don't like your tone. I don't like the way it's like, you don't have to like my tone. It's my heart that matters. Like, I wish I would have responded that way, but I responded in a way that was more like, well, I wasn't really having a tone, or and they said that right after they heard me say I'm not going to do anything on that day and I'm going to meditate at home. And then they're like, oh, well, that sounds boring. And I was like, okay, yeah, it could be boring but it's kind of what I want to do. And they started to put it down, and it was hurtful that they were putting it down, because that's something I like to do, and that's what I've told them time and time again, because this isn't the first conversation I had with them about that. We've had huge conversations, and we both talk a lot, so it was really interesting, because what happened was I just kind of told the individual and the whole story and the experience, and obviously she's a she, was very nice and kind, and I really appreciate that individual. What I wanted to mention, though, is when we have this connection with anybody, we want to make sure that the individual is loved. And I'm not saying this to put down them or anybody, but they're not the only one that I've had this type of experience with. I've had different people that are like, oh, I don't like your tone. And it's like, okay, well, my tone isn't meant to be rude or disrespectful, but it's almost like they think that you have, and you hear certain things that they say, like, this person has a demon in them, that person, and so if they don't like your tone, you might have a demon in you, is what they would think, is what it comes across as. And it's like, no, I'm a good person, I have a good heart, and I don't really believe in demons necessarily. I believe in low vibrations. It doesn't mean that demons don't exist. It just means that they're, what we define as angels and demons are just other metaphysical beings of us, dualities of energy from other realms and other connections. So what it is it's just vibrational energy. But I have so much high vibe stuff in my home. I do a lot of meditation and focus and peace, and I was promoting peace and being genuine to her and to anybody that has thought I did that. And I don't know what the deal is, but I just hope they're doing okay, and I bless them and their family and situation of their life. For me, I follow my path because it's right for me. And that's what I feel. And it saved my life. I had cancer, and if I didn't follow my instincts like I'm still doing, I would be dead by now. And ever since I've had miracles and protection happen and insight that's just enhanced. I've had angel type beings show up in my home because they know of my heart and giving me insight of things to come. I've been protected, and I've been attacked by other beings of darkness or just neutral beings of humans using tech, trying to infiltrate my home and things for whatever reason they chose to, because I'm holistic and I'm about the heart and I'm about a peaceful world. And they're just following a world that keeps the world that they think should be shaped by what their orders are. And that's all changing. See, the shift is going to get us to our optimum timeline or desired life that we ultimately desire, even if it's hard for us to know whether we'll get it. We need to trust that we will, and if we doubt it, it's okay. Just hold to your heart, believe that you're worth it, because you are, and then you'll get into that realm. That's just how it works. So it's really cool, and I never knew it was that easy until I started noticing things. So that's what I'm here for, and maybe I'm one of the rainbow warriors because of my blood type is B negative, which is a divine blood type, and I awoke it in 2015, which most awoke around 2013 to 2015. I woke up around the Star of David time, And it could be because of my blood type. Maybe people are waking up different times because of their blood type. I don't know. But some, even in the same blood type, haven't woken fully, like I have to things. Some are trying to keep their ways of looking at things without an open mind or belief in everything as a possibility. And they're just going with what they feel is factual, which I still do, but I'm aware of the other things as well, the metaphysical and everything, just because I've seen things and witnessed things that just are amazing and unique. And I'm very skeptical about stuff. I don't really fully believe or trust in anything until I fully see it and feel it. If I see it and feel it, then half of it has been answered to me, but I still want to know more so I can be aware of what I've seen and experienced and what it really was, because it could be a trick, it could be other things, but I don't really see it as that. If I feel it in my heart that it's something that's important to be aware of, I'm not going to push it off as something that's bad or good. I'm just going to see it as, well, I felt that it was this way, and since I feel that it was this way, I'm going to follow it until I see it happen in another way. It's all about open mind, heart, and soul. So what I wanted to bring up on this is when someone tells me I have a tone that they don't like, and right now it sounds like I have a tone because it is kind of ridiculous to me, and I'm going to be honest about it, but I don't mean it in a bad way or rude way. Everybody gets irritated by certain tones, and they have the right to be irritated if that's what they feel they need to do. But here's the thing I'm going to say, and but cancels everything before, but at the same time, I don't want to fully cancel it. The whole thing is, we all are going to follow the life path we feel is right. So I'm not irritated at them choosing to. At the same time, I'm also not irritated at me doing what I feel is right for me. We both have to follow our path, and it's not always going to be on the same sides. But I'm always about doing the right thing that helps at all forms, that cares and heals everything, so that we can have peace and true peace, not trying to enslave us in any way or any form of mark of the beast or any form of that kind of stuff. Follow your heart, do what you feel is right. If others choose another path, bless that they'll still be able to get out of it if they get into it. And I'm not going to prejudge or judge, but I am going to follow my own discernment of awareness of things that I feel my heart is telling me, and that my emotions and awareness have told me, and any metaphysical beings that might come and are there for me that I've seen many times and experienced many ways. So what I do want to go into, though, is when this friend and others, and I still consider them as a friend, do this, I kind of step back from them for a bit, unless I have to bring something to them or help them in some way because of something that just kind of happens. And then I'm like, okay, well, I got to go do this for them, and I'll just do that and then leave, go. But I want to make sure that they're respected, they're provided things that they should have back. If they left something at my place or something and I have to go back to the person, then I will. So the whole thing is, it's all about the heart. Do what's respectful in a way that you would want, but don't expect others to do it your way or to follow what you think is appropriate, and thinking that them choosing not to is wrong of them to do so because it's not heartfelt, or it's not being a peacemaker, or it's not being what they say they are. You know what? They feel that they are a certain way for a purpose, but it doesn't mean that they're fully going to be what you think a peacemaker is, or what you think you should do as someone that considers themselves a peacemaker, or someone that considers them a good Samaritan. We all need to do our path of what we can for our needs and our health, but then do what we can for the other. Honestly, once I have everything I desire manifested, I'm going to do a ton of things for others, especially those that reach out or that have hearted my videos or done things. I'm going to do whatever I can to help support them and be there for them. But that's just my choice. That's what I choose to do. So I'm just letting you be aware that there's so much going on. One other thing I wanted to also talk about or bring up is there is a type of shift going on that we're going through, like I mentioned before, and the shift is changing us and upgrading us from within. This portal that's coming, which has started pretty much the day that I post this video, which is the 12/12, portal, and there is going to be this new thing that's coming through that is called the solar eclipse, which is, I think, the second one this month of part of this change. And the solar moon eclipse, or whatever it is, eclipse is going to be on the 14th, and we're said to upgrade at that time. So take in those energies, and we're finally going to shift even more metaphysically, not just from within, but now in the outer world. And then it will get us to the ultimate shift, which is the 21st of December 2020, this year. So, and it's really interesting that I mentioned the 21st, right when 21 minutes have passed. And so what is going to happen is, what we're going to do is just be you. Just be the full heartfelt that your instincts tell you to be. I recommend to look up the movie, and it's actually on YouTube, premium for premium members, to my knowledge. You can watch Celestine Prophecy. And I really like that movie. It's a really good movie. It brings up a lot of insights of what's really going on now. But it's happening worldwide, and people that are awakened are getting drawn to this awareness of our connections. And so it was very impressive the way that it expressed it. So I wanted to bring up something that I thought was really powerful. And the whole thing is, with all these emotions, it teaches you in that show to balance your energies, to be you. And the energies are balanced in a way where you're sharing your energy and not dominating and siphoning off of other forms or other beings. And this isn't about healing people and then being drained after healing. When you do it right, you never drain. Instead, you both, whoever's in the group, are all empowered. And so one of the things that I've witnessed, or many of the things that I've witnessed, is it doesn't matter about your tone, okay, or about how you come across. What matters is your heart. So when someone tells me about my tone, and they're like, "Oh, I don't like the way your tone is," and or they say it in that way, I'm noticing their tone of "I don't like it," because that's how it's coming across to me, even if they're not saying it in that way. And the reason why is because they are trying to tell me how to speak and how to think and how to express myself. And they're making it seem like I'm trying to be a bad person with however my tone is coming across. So what I first try to do is say, well, I didn't mean to have any form of tone. And I'm always genuine and honest. And so even if I have some form of tone, it's not that I'm hiding any feelings or anything. It could be that I've told them time and time again that I don't want to be part of something, or that I'm focusing to do the shift for this time, so I'm not going to really go out and do stuff that day or between now and then as much. And I only want to go when I feel comfortable to. And it's also, I want to be around energy that I feel empowered with. A lot of it also is, I don't feel comfortable around any dominating energy or a place I don't feel comfortable being me in. And also it has to deal with the atmosphere of their home. If I come to theirs, there might be some form of tense energy that's there, that I feel tense there. And then if they feel that I'm tense or that it's on me and that I need to do certain things, I'll say, well, I'm going to do it my way that I need to do it in, because that's how I feel comfortable and have gone through, and I need to do it in my comfort right now. We all need to do our individual way of meditating and finding our peace. and to relax our own way. Not the way others tell us to, but we can listen to the advice, and if we resonate with it, then great. Then follow it if you feel that it gives you good insight, because there will be good insight that some might give. And maybe I'm one of them that is giving you good insight. I have no idea. You decide for yourself. For me, I'm giving from the heart, and then you decide. But I don't want you to do it because I'm telling you or others are telling you how to be or how to think. Be the you feel is important to you, and follow your heart because you matter. Your insight is important. That's one thing that I'm so grateful of leaving a religion that I was in and a connection, because they made you doubt your instincts, doubt your self-worth. And you don't need to doubt your instincts, thinking that God is better than you. No, God loves all is what I realize. But if you think differently, well, guess what? I don't resonate with that because I experienced differently. I experienced an unconditional love form, whatever that was. But it was not really a God, or it didn't even seem like it wanted to be seen as one. It just wanted love, and it cared about me unconditionally because of my heart. And it loved me when I didn't even love myself at that time. I wasn't sure how to love myself because I was so beaten down that you got to do this, you got to do all of these certain things to feel worthy and to be righteous and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, this doesn't make sense, but I'm trying. But I've had disabilities since birth, and I have all these issues and then people say I'm not doing it enough, and I'm not strong enough, or I'm not able physically enough, or they're saying you are physically. What I noticed is my physical was lacking, but I didn't know why, and I was trying to figure it out. There was so much energy going on, and I just had to let it all go. I had to let it all go and realize I do matter in my heart, and I do matter, and you matter, and we all matter, and everybody's important, and we all have greatness in us. We're beautiful beings. We're amazing beings of light within, light bodies, whatever. We are amazing. You are amazing. And what is so great is it doesn't matter about our tones, people. And I don't want to offend anybody or the individual if they stumble upon this video at all, or if they think I'm talking about them. They can ask me and I'll tell them whether it is them or not. No, it was this one individual that I've been hanging out with, and they're really great. They're great individual of awakening, and they've gone through a lot in their life just like I have in a different way. We just have different personalities of what we think is going on. They have a different way of looking at things than I do, but they still kind of see it similar. For me, I'm a little bit more open to awareness of things, not really closing to one idea or some of the ideas they have. But that's okay. They're following what they feel is right, and they're going to awaken if it's not. And if it is right for them, then it's good. That's awesome. We're all going to learn what's really going on, and maybe we'll learn so much that there's still more we'll need to know, and it will just be so impressive. So what I wanted to bring up is when we're talking about tones or talking about body language or hand signals or whatever, yes, there are going to be people that are doing secret hand signals, secret things. Anything I do, I don't mean it to be any secret coding at all. So if I'm making any weird twitching or any weird hand movement or eye movement or gestures with my hands or fingers or whatever, it doesn't mean anything unless my higher self is working through me and sending signals to others that are seeing it. I don't know. The whole thing is I'm all about doing the right thing, and I don't play games other than entertaining games on my phone or whatever that are fun. But I don't play mind games that are playing with people and messing with them and being a liar to them anymore. I used to do that without realizing I was doing it, but I kind of knew, but I didn't know that it was wrong. I thought I was doing the right thing, or I thought I was just trying to play their game back at them that they were doing to me. But I didn't like doing that. I rarely did that. And there was times that I misinterpreted, trying to fit into single life to try to find my spouse or whatever. And then I just let that all go. And it was all because I suffered some strange experience, and then I saw this weird experience, and then I had many other experiences after that and realized society had to figure out how to be self-worth and authentic later. Didn't know that I was being a facade when I saw others being a facade. I still wasn't as much as a facade as a lot of them were in that religion. I got out of it quicker, but over time, I became less of that and more authentic, more me. And then I don't play games or procedural games of what people think is politically correct or whatever. For me, I'm simple. I follow my heart. I love others. I do what I feel is right for me, and I move on. And am I going to do it perfectly? I'm going to do it as perfectly as I can with all flaws that I do and all situations I deal with. So I'm perfectly fine being as perfect as I can be, but I'm not fully perfect in the way that others think perfection is. But that's okay. I'm perfectly perfect being the perfect me of what I can deal with all the flaws I deal with, or situations, or health needs. But once those are healed and corrected, I'm going to be really amazing being. Will I be perfectly good at everything? Maybe not, maybe so. The whole thing is it doesn't matter. I'm going to be perfectly good at whatever skills I can do. And I'm going to be as perfect as I choose I can be. And that's as much perfection as needed. That's fine. And so what I'm going to tell you about this is your heart is important. You matter. So bless you all. Know that my heart is with you. And I wanted to let you be aware that you matter in the heart. So one other thing I wanted to finish saying is you're amazing. You matter. Your heart matters. Bless you all from the heart.